The countdown ticked down to 0 in the warship Inevitable Conquest's command deck. Admiral Thalrex Vornak stood at the center of the bridge with his arms clasped behind his back, posture rigid. The great viewport filled with the planet's horizon, a swirl of ocean blue and landmass greens. It looked almost fragile, wrapped in its thin veil of atmosphere. "Deploy the invasion fleet," Thalrex said. His voice was cold, a death sentence delivered without ceremony. "Aye, Admiral." Commander Draxus Corval replied. He relayed the command through his comlink, his scarred mandibles twitching as one by one, icons on the tactical display flickered from standby to launch. Across the fleet, the Inevitable Conquest's dropships disengaged from their docking cradles, hundreds at first, then thousands. Each one a dart-shaped vessel, packed with soldiers, armored walkers, and mobile extractors, ready to strip the planet bare. They fanned out like a swarm of locusts, burning re-entry trails into the upper atmosphere. On the bridge, Science Officer Liren Vetar's antennae trembled as she studied the telemetry feeds. "All dropships holding descent vectors," she said quietly. "No sign of planetary defenses." "Of course there aren't," Thalrex said, his three primary eyes fixed on the planet. "This will be swift, clean." In a subterranean command center beneath Colorado, General Cassandra Holt stood shoulder to shoulder with world leaders, military chiefs, and heads of intelligence agencies. The Situation Room was a frenzy of activity. Analysts shouting over one another, live satellite feeds of streaking alien ships projected onto the walls, data scrolling too fast to read. "They're bypassing our early warning systems entirely," one technician said, voice cracking. "These things, they're everywhere." Holt's jaw was tight. "How much time?" "Minutes, General. Maybe less." "Then we use what we have," Holt said. She stepped to the center of the room, voice rising over the chaos. "Listen up, we're outgunned and outnumbered, but we are not helpless. Every standing military unit is to engage. Civil defense teams execute full evacuation protocols, and get our cyber ops online now." She paused, scanning the room, making sure they heard her. "This isn't just about survival. We show them that Earth fights back." Dropship 247 cut through the atmosphere like a flaming spear, its hull glowing from the heat of re-entry. Inside, Imperial soldiers checked weapons, their four-jointed limbs moving with mechanical precision. To them, this was routine. They'd done it on a dozen worlds. "Impact in 3 minutes," the squad leader barked in their native tongue. None of them noticed the human aircraft shadowing them in the thick cloud layers below. It was an old fighter jet, decades out of date, patched together from scavenged parts. The pilot's breathing was ragged inside his cracked helmet, sweat dripping into his eyes. He'd been a commercial pilot once, never expecting to see combat. Now he was the tip of the spear. The radio crackled in his ear. "Callsign Raven 1, do you copy? You don't have to do this. We can find another way." He smiled grimly. "Negative, Control, I've got them lined up." His eyes flicked to the family photo taped to the console. Tell them why I did it." He rammed the throttle forward. The jet screamed out of the cloud bank straight into the dropship's path. On the Inevitable Conquest's bridge, Lultra Soraya Kin shouted, "Admiral, dropship 247 is altering course." "Wait, no, something's approaching it at high velocity." The viewport feed zoomed in just in time for the bridge crew to see the tiny human aircraft slam nose first into the dropship's hull. The explosion was instantaneous and catastrophic. Both craft vanished in a fireball that tore open the sky. "Dropship 247 is gone, sir," Major Calrex Vin, the defense officer, reported. His voice cracked. "Total loss, no survivors." Thalrex's mandibles flared in disbelief. "What do you mean gone? Our hulls can withstand meteor strikes." "How?" "The human craft, it carried explosives far more powerful than our scans indicated," Liren said, voice low. "The pilot, he deliberately collided with our ship. Sacrifice behavior," she thought, chilled to her core. On the bridge, no one spoke. Then Thalrex broke the silence, voice sharp. One ship, one anomaly. It means nothing. Continue the descent. But his middle eye twitched uncontrollably, and even Draxus noticed. As the remaining dropships streaked into the lower atmosphere, resistance flared across the planet. Human anti-air batteries opened fire with everything they had. Primitive ballistic missiles, railguns cobbled together from scrap, improvised drone swarms. The Imperium's armor held. For a time, dropships slammed into city streets and rural clearings, disgorging squads of towering alien soldiers. Civilians screamed as energy weapons cut through the air, but Earth was ready. In London, resistance fighters ambushed the first wave with homemade explosives hidden in delivery trucks. In Lagos, hackers flooded the aliens' comms frequencies with deafening noise, disrupting their coordination. In São Paulo, a militia led by ex-special forces detonated entire skyscrapers to collapse onto landing zones. Everywhere, humans fought back with a ferocity the Imperium hadn't anticipated. Reports poured into the inevitable conquest. Sector 12? Heavy casualties. Dropships in Sector 7, not responding. Alien hostiles, humans are capturing our drones and dismantling them on sight. Thalrex slammed a tentacle against the command console hard enough to crack the surface. Impossible, no species adapts this quickly. Liren stepped forward, clutching her datapad. Admiral, the texts from the Forbidden Archives. Enough with your legends. Thalrex roared. His mandibles sprayed flecks of acidic spittle across the deck. They are primitives. We outnumber them 100 to 1. Draxus, who'd remained silent until now, rumbled. Then why does it feel like we're losing? The bridge went quiet. General Holt stepped up to the podium in the UN emergency broadcast room, flanked by representatives from every major nation. Cameras rolled as she looked directly into the lens. To whoever is watching, she said, her voice steady and hard, Earth stands united. You may have weapons we've never seen, ships we can't match, but you will learn the same lesson every invader learns. We do not bow. We do not break. She leaned forward. We fight. The feed was carried on every channel, every screen, every comm device across the planet. And somewhere in orbit, an Imperial officer stared at the transmission and felt a flicker of something she'd never known before. Fear. Another dropship screamed toward its landing zone, its engines glowing white-hot. Inside, Imperial soldiers tightened formation. They didn't notice the swarm of human drones rising from the rooftops below. At first, the drones seemed primitive, quadcopters, old-world tech. Then they detonated in perfect sequence, carving the dropship apart in midair. Fire and wreckage rained down on the streets below. 73 casualties confirmed, Calrex reported, voice strained. We're losing ships faster than we can land them. Thalrex's complexion darkened, a mottled purple. We continue. Every sector, press forward. Crush their resistance, take prisoners for the Emperor's interrogation. Liren met Draxus's eyes. Neither spoke, but the same thought hung between them. This isn't working. In the ruins of Chicago, a group of human engineers crowded around a captured Imperial scout drone. Sparks flew as they pried it open with crowbars and plasma cutters. Can you make it work? A soldier demanded, eyes darting skyward. Work? Hell, we can make it ours, the lead engineer said. He held up a glowing energy cell. See this? It's basically a reactor. We overload it, we've got a bomb big enough to take out one of their landing craft. We don't have time for testing, another warned. Then we don't test, the engineer snapped. We build, fast. Across the planet, similar scenes played out. Humans tearing apart captured alien tech, repurposing it, weaponizing it. Thalrex didn't know it yet, but the Imperium had just given Earth the one thing it had been missing, an edge. Back on the inevitable conquest, the tactical display was a sea of red warning markers. Admiral, Draxus said grimly, we've lost contact with 23 dropships. Entire sectors are going dark. Humans are approaching Imperial troops with white flags, Soraya Kin added. Her voice trembled. But when our soldiers move in to capture them, they detonate concealed explosives. Lyran's antennae lowered. Deception tactics, she whispered. The texts mention those too. Thalrex's mandibles clicked violently. I will not be undone by myths. Redirect fleet fire support to major population centers. Burn them down if you have to. Draxus hesitated. Admiral, that could destabilize the planet's biosphere. Do it, Thalrex roared. The Emperor ordered me to secure this world. I will not return in disgrace. But as the bridge crew carried out his orders, Thalrex could feel it. The creeping sensation that the ground beneath his command was slipping away. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Part 2 is already in the works, and trust me, you do not want to get left behind.